I'm just going to go over some tips and pointers on doing some social media and pushing your campaign online. So some of this is going to go a little bit slow just because there's a few things that are always hard to find, and I'm not too well prepared for some of those things, but you're probably going to go through them yourself when you do this. So first, I want to talk about Facebook, because that's the main one. That's the big one where I got most of the traffic on my campaign. And there's two things that you have to differentiate. So right now we're looking at my candidate page, and this is if you go to facebook.com/Dan4Texas. This is basically this is where I run my candidate page. It's a little bit different than my personal page, which if I go to facebook.com, this is your, I guess, your wall, which shows all the things that your friends are posting. And if I click on myself up here, or let's see, that one should do it. So this one goes to facebook.com/Daniel.Berman, and this one goes to facebook.com/Dan4Texas. So the difference is this one is a candidate page. You don't add friends here. People come and they press like and they follow this page. On my personal page, I can post things, and this is more like my personal stuff, things that I find interesting that aren't really related to the campaign. This is where all that stuff shows up. So here we're looking at a history of like all these things that I've posted to my own timeline, and some of this stuff is related, but this is more, like within the party that most of my voters probably aren't going to be interested in. So this is more like your personal stuff. Now, people are going to see a lot of this, so it is kind of public, even if you set your privacy settings on. So, don't go posting a bunch of obscene stuff or, whatever. Like, still consider it public, but you have to differentiate kind of what's your, let's call this business, and let's call this your personal stuff. With your personal page, you can reach out and add friends. So you can see here I've got 1,200 friends. On my candidate page, you can see I've got 4,700 likes, so almost 5,000. These are people who are following me. Now, there's a lot of differences here. So if I click on this and I look at the people who have liked my page, first, they won't give you this on your personal page, but this is all the blue is the new likes, and all the red is the people that basically I've pissed off, and they're like, I don't like this guy anymore. And they'll give you a lot more information, like where they came from and this kind of stuff. So you can actually get statistics on, oh, here's a cool little peek back here. So I got 15 new likes that day. And this hard line shows you kind of like the net of gains and losses combined. So as long as that stays above the line, you're still doing pretty good. And this is just your increase over time, which looks like I've been slowly going up. For a while, I was slowly going down because I guess I was posting some pretty controversial stuff. But anyway, so you get all these statistics, which is nice to look at to see how your campaign is doing. On your personal page, you don't get any of that, and your friends are limited to 5,000. So if you make friends with more and more people, so let's say you're campaigning and you've got 10,000 people in your district who want to support your campaign. Well, you can't do that with your personal page because you're limited to 5,000 friends. And as soon as you hit 5,000, that's it. You can't add any more. At that point, you can add your business page or your candidate page, but then now you've got all of your followers kind of divided. So really what you want to do is, as soon as possible, get your business page going, your candidate page, and you want to use this as your main source of bringing people in. So let me show you how to create one of these real quick. And this is one of the parts where I'm probably going to get a little bit lost. Okay, so up here in the corner, there's this little drop-down arrow, and there's all kinds of options down here. Anything from advertising to pages. What we want to do is create a page, and a page is basically your business page. And you want to pick artist, band, or public figure. choose a category, and we're going to go to, I guess we can't say government official because we're not elected yet, but we can do politician. And we can do Dan for Texas again, and get started. And give that a second here. And now it's just going to walk me through some basic setup stuff. So it's going to say, type a little bit about yourself. Hi, I'm running again. And you don't want to create more than one page. I'm just kind of creating another page right now as an example. Put your website, which is danfortexas.org. And it's going to ask you to create a unique address. So you can put Dan Berman, or you can use your name. You can use mine is Dan for Texas, just so people know it's it's someone that's running in Texas, which is kind of, the more you can relate to people, the better. Because if they just see your name is Joe Blow running for Congress, and they're like, is this guy even in my state? I don't know. Like, should I even follow this guy? Is he saying anything interesting? If you just say Joe Blow for Texas, then people see, oh, Texas. That guy's in my state. At least they might not be in your district, but at least they're in your state. So okay, that's taken whatever. Let me just pick something up. Okay, you're gonna upload your pictures, and so basically, yeah, there's I'm not gonna walk all the way through this, but and let me actually go here and just delete it, just in case I did actually create it already. And yes, so, oops. And okay, I don't know if maybe I can't delete it or something. But anyway, so that's how you create it, and you just go through all the steps, and then what you're going to end up with is this. So this, I uploaded a picture here, and that's my profile picture. That's the one that shows up down here. And then I uploaded a background picture here. And so, and I liked my own page. So you can do some other things here. You'll notice here under messages, you can actually, so people will be able to send you a message here, and this is actually kind of frustrating about Facebook. When people send messages to your business page or your candidate page, they don't show up on the bottom like your regular chat messages. So if somebody were to send a message to my personal page, it shows up down here. For my candidate page, I actually have to go into here, and you'll see up at the top, I see some options, and these are only available for me because I'm the owner of this page. If I go into messages, it'll show me all these messages that people sent me, and I get some weird stuff. This guy was asking me if I knew someone who wanted to buy like a Brazilian silk leather jacket. I don't know. I get some weird requests. Anyway, just be nice to people, because they are probably or possibly voting for you. I try to be nice to everybody. If there's something that, well, I'll get into this in a minute, but if there's something they disagree with you on, still try to be nice to them anyway. It can get really hard, but try it anyway. So this is where your messages are, and you get your alerts up here about things that are going on your Facebook. They will sometimes send you an alert that you got a message from your page, but you really need to go in and check it frequently, because, and I think there's also, let's see, oops, yeah, now I'm back on Dan for Texas. Visitor posts, these are things that people posted on my page, which I don't think they actually show up on my page because of the settings that I have, but they post here and they want you to respond to them. So respond. You can also, so you need to stay active on your page is what I'm getting at. You need to come here, you need to go, you need to check your messages. And if there is a new message, it'll have a red number, kind of like how it does here. You need to get on there, you need to respond to them. So if you go to notifications, this will actually show you like all these other things that are going on. And so these, you'll see these little thumbs ups. That means that I posted something and someone liked it, and it'll tell you, all these people liked my photo, all this other stuff. If I scroll down here, you'll see this little this little green comment box. That means somebody commented it on a video, so, or on a, on a link or a video or a picture or whatever. And so what you want to do is, what I do is pretty much anytime someone comments something, I go in there and press like, just so they know that I am paying attention to them. And that does create that bond between you and your voters. So just press like on everything, unless it's something that you really don't agree with. Then you can block it if you want. You can actually go here and say hide. I don't like to censor things, so unless it's like really obnoxious, I won't. Even if it's someone that disagrees with me, I'll leave it there, because at the very least, if we start having a conversation and if people start fighting on your post, that's actually a good thing, because that increases your exposure. So I actually, there was a post a while ago on, I think it was 4th of July, and Pacific Sunwear was selling a shirt of an upside down American flag, and for some reason that was like a really big issue and people were flipping out over it. So I posted something about that on my page, and saying, I don't see what the problem is. And a lot of people came to my page and they just started getting angry with me. How could you post such a thing, the upside down American flag, right? And so they got really angry with me. And but that day, because of that post, I actually got a lot of likes, because what was happening was people were sharing it, and then people were getting angry about it, and then people were sharing it. The angry people were sharing it and saying, "Look what this asshole said." And so it got out there, and then a lot of people actually agreed with me, even though they were friends with the person who didn't agree with me. So so you can do controversial stuff. Try not to offend people. Like, when I posted that, I didn't say, I didn't say anything like, screw this person, or it's all this person's fault, or, I didn't say anything like that. And actually this post right here, just because it's Hillary, is really, the fact that I'm posting anything about Hillary really helps her out, even though it's against her. So I try to stay away from these posts as much as I can. But sometimes I'm just like, screw it. But that's just some advice there. But anyway, so engage. If someone comments, comment back if you can. If you have something to say, tell them, yeah, hey, you're right. Great idea. Here, this one's, if you use your Tor browser, the FBI just labeled you a criminal. So this is more like, I'm not specifically attacking anyone. I'm just saying, look, this is messed up. This happened, and I got a couple likes on it. It'll tell you 508 people reached, which means they saw it, they scrolled down, they might have clicked on it, but only a couple people liked it. And you'll notice, especially because my main topics were legalization of marijuana and police misconduct, or stopping police misconduct. So a lot of my followers are the younger crowd, or a lot of them are even Democrat leaning. And so a lot of this stuff, like, they'll see like actual news like this and they don't care about it. But whatever you do, don't get discouraged by that. Just keep doing what you're doing. I don't know how many posts. I probably do like 10 to 20 posts a day. And a lot of it is, what I do is I just, scroll down my feed. So let's say I go here. I'll just scroll down. And so here, Michael Pickens just posted this picture, right? So I say, hey, that's a cool picture. And what I like about these is this kind of goes back into my philosophy of what people need to see. This isn't really saying, well, I don't know. This does kind of say that these two people are tyrants. But at the same time, what it's doing is it's putting our candidates on the same stage next to them. So it's basically saying they're in the same group, they're running for the same office, instead of, isolating them, where, like, if I were just to post just the top half of this with just our candidates, then they're like, okay, who are these group of people? But now, like, if somebody sees this, they're almost kind of associating these people together. So if they're Trump or Hillary supporters, they can kind of subconsciously get the fact that they're all kind of related somehow. Anyway, so when I share this, you'll notice that it defaults to share on your own timeline up here. So what I want to do is I want to go to share on a page you manage, and I want to change this. It's now defaulting to the new page I created, but I'm going to go to Daniel Berman, which is my candidate page. That's the Dan for Texas page. And I'm going to post it here. And so now if I go back to my Dan for Texas page, you'll see that it's the first, well, it'll actually be the second post up here, because this one I pinned it to the top, which basically means that no matter what I post, this one's going to be up at the front for a while. And you'll see, like, so I posted this thing about the campaign for Gary Johnson versus some of the other guys, and people just, they started, I'm not crazy about Hillary, Trump, whatever. There's, let people have discussions on your page. Something else that works great too is if you ask a question. So let's see if I don't know if I've done one recently, but like, so let's say you, oh yeah, actually I did. Where's this one? Oh, it was actually the Hillary one. So I asked the question at the front, do your kids belong to you or the government? And so usually, and you'll notice on this one, I got 16 likes, and it might've been because it's got a picture of Hillary. And you'll notice that most of these people aren't like, they're actually commenting based on the picture and not my question. But you'll see that this guy is it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know if he was answering the question or not. But when you post questions like that, or especially if you put the questions into the picture, then you'll get better response from that. This one's just a video that I shared. Okay, so now something else you'll notice is underneath any of your posts, you'll have this thing called Boost. And I actually got my account banned because I used a 4-letter word in one of the ads that I tried to boost. It actually wasn't a strong one. It was just the word damn. And I said, I saw something that made me angry. It was like the police doing something. And I said, this is why not a damn thing will ever change, because, such and such. And apparently the word damn got me permanently banned from advertising on Facebook. So if you can, familiarize yourself with some of Facebook's rules. Don't be offensive in anything you plan on boosting. But I do recommend that you boost every once in a while. So what boosting actually does is you put in your credit card, and when you pick boost, it'll ask you how much, and you can just do like $5. And for boosting a post for $5, you might get like anywhere from an extra 100 to an extra 1,000 people to see your post. This is a really great way to start bringing new people to your page. And actually, here, let me do something here. Sorry, bear with me for a second. Okay. And let me switch my screen sharing to, right here. Okay. So what I did, because I was banned, is I just created another account, and this account is allowed to boost. So let me go to my Dan for Texas. And by the way, if you have someone else that you want to help you with your Facebook promoting, here, let me actually show you this first. Well, no, sorry. Let me, I'm bouncing all over the place. Okay. Let me just stick right here first. Okay. So now I have this option to boost the post, right? So I can press boost, and it's going to ask me, it's going to say, I'm going to create this ad. And by the way, one of Facebook's rules are that you can't have more than 20% text in your ads. And this is considered an ad now, right? So that might be less than 20%. So this might be fine. It'll ask who I want to see it, and I can say just the people who already like my page, which is not going to grow my page, so that's not what I want. People who like my page and their friends, which, yeah, that might be kind of good, or people I choose through targeting. This is probably what you want to do, especially if you're just starting out. You want to choose your targeting, and let's see, I want to create a new audience, and let's call this San Antonio Libertarians. And what you'll want to do is just, create create things that uh, you want to create an area that's around where you are. So let's get rid of United States and let's do San Antonio. Okay, why isn't that working? Oh, okay. So I want to go by city, and let's go San Antonio, Texas, and city plus 50 miles. So I guess that'll cover 50 miles outside of Texas. This is a little bit different from the last time I boosted, so they're always changing this. You can target libertarians if you want. That means people who are already associated with libertarians are going to see it. But if you want to start bringing in new people, then what you can do is you can say you want to target, let's say, let's try immigration reform. Okay, so people who are interested in immigration reform, right? So these might be Democrats who support a libertarian philosophy of, actually welcoming people to the country. So this is a way to reach out to people who are not already libertarians who want to come in, because obviously libertarians are already a smaller group. So let's save that, and it'll tell me right here that it's estimating for $5, 180 to 460 people are going to see my post. Now, what happens with a lot of people is when they see posts like this, because it's going to have your account right here. Let me go back over here. So let's see if I have one. Okay, you'll notice Michael Pickens commented here, and because that's an actual user account, it says I can add him as a friend. And Michael, if you're watching, the only reason I'm not your friend here is this is my other account that doesn't have any friends. Okay, so let me just scroll down a little bit and see if I can find these. Oh, here. So this is a post now I'm seeing on my feed that my candidate page posted, and you'll see that when I put it over here, because this is not a person, this is a business page, that it'll tell me I can like or unlike, and it's because I already liked this page. It's showing me that I've already liked it. But if I didn't already like this page, so if this were a boosted post and somebody were scrolling down and they saw this, then they could put their mouse over my name and say, "Oh, I like this post. Let me follow this person," and press that like button. So that's how the boosting works, and that's how it brings more people to you. So, and you can tell it how long you want to do it. You can spread it out over 7 days or 14 days. They're telling you right here, minimum of $1 per day. So if I want to do $7, then I have to do a little bit more. I usually like to just do a lot of little posts for $5 each, and especially once you because you get a variety of posts in there. And once you start seeing that some posts are performing much better than others, then if you want, you can take the ones that are performing really well and turn those back into your and reboost them for more. And then so here I've already got my payment method set up. So so you definitely want to do that. Now here's the other thing. There's a button right here that says promote page, and this is basically the same thing. It's going to create an ad that looks like this. This one's probably not going to get approved because there's too much text. Over here, it's telling me that I've got too much punctuation or whatever in there. So this one, they'll kind of alert me to the one with the problem with the text here is if I hit promote, it'll submit it for review, and then they'll probably kick it back later and then tell me that it wasn't approved later. But anyway, you get all the same targeting options here. Sorry. All right, sorry about that. I'll try and edit that out if I can. So you have all the same targeting options here, and basically what this is going to do is it's going to put your like button. Oh, sorry, I've got my mouse in front of the wrong thing. It's going to put your like button right in front of the ad, or right on the bottom of the ad. So if you compare that to the other boosted post, it's just going to look like this, and there's not going to be a big like button. But on this one right here, it is going to have your big like button right there, which basically means people are going to, they're going to be more likely to press that and start following your page. So let's see what else. Okay, so the other thing I want to point out is up here you've got insights, and this is where you can see like how well your ads are actually performing. And so let's see. So let's pull this up. Now right here, sorry for all the noise in the background. Right here, this is showing me my overall, how people are engaging with my page. And so this one tells me this is over the period of a week, but this is like throughout the day. So 3 a.m. I've still got, like at 4 a.m. over the last week, there's still a total of about 566 people engaging my page. So this kind of tells you like what hour of the day people are on. So that's just some information, however you want to use it. These are all the different posts that I've made. And you can see here, it tells you the reach, which is how many people actually saw it, which doesn't tell you a whole lot because people might see it and then scroll, or they might chuckle and, just scroll. But what's a little bit more important is over here is this shows you your post clicks in blue, the first one, which is how many people, like if it's a picture, did they click on it so they could blow it up bigger to actually read it? And then the one on the bottom, this kind of pink color, is reactions. So this is, did they like it? Did they comment? Did they share it? Now, what's really important, and you can actually put this on your post. I probably don't do it as much as I should. At the top, when you share something, at the top of your post, you need to write in like, share, and comment. Encourage people to like, share, and comment, because the more they like, share, and comment, the more people are going to see the post. So, for example, obviously, if I share it, then my friends are going to see it, or my followers are going to see it. If my friends, or if my followers see it and then they share it, then all of their friends are going to see it as well, or they're more likely to see it. If they like it, some of their friends are also going to see it. But if they share it, the more happens. There's also an algorithm that Facebook has where, let's say I have 5,000 people on my page. If I do this post, they're not going to show this post to all 5,000 people. But what they are going to do is they're going to show it to, let's say, 10 people at first, right? Now, if people are getting engaged, like they're pressing like, or they're clicking on it, or they're doing something, then Facebook is going to say, okay, this is an interesting post and it's actually engaging people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show this to even more people. So let's say they started out with 10 people. Now they might show it to 20 or 50 or 100. And if it really gets going, they're going to start showing it to a lot of people. And there was one, let me just show you down here. I post a lot of these like little funny memes and things, just because they really do get more attention. Here I was running a fundraiser for some phone polling. It tells you right here the light orange is organic, and the dark orange is what I paid for a boost. So you can see that boost, and I think I only did like maybe $5 or $10. You can see the boost got a lot more coverage, and you can also see that these have a lot more likes just because it was boosted. Now, some of these, like this one right here, I shared Awareness Act video, so I can click on that and it'll tell me. And with videos, it'll actually tell you some other cool stuff. This was about a man who was arrested for living off grid. It'll tell me that 97% of the people watched for 4 seconds, and then within about 7 seconds, half of them dropped off, and only 16% watched it all the way to the end. So this kind of, the specific numbers aren't too interesting, but it does kind of tell you, how many people are watching this. And what you'll notice is that if you post shorter videos, people actually watch them for a lot longer. But anyway, so that one did get a lot of likes and shares. Its organic reach was 980, and it got a lot more likes and shares than even this this paid boosted post. There's one, I want to keep going down. I don't even know where it is. It's way back here probably by now. I did one post of a video. I don't know if you've seen Taylor Swift's acceptance video where Kanye West interrupted her, and I turned it into a taxation is theft video. And that one, I guess you could say it went viral. I think it wasn't in the millions, but it was in the tens of thousands of people who saw it. Oh, here we go. I think it finally, yeah, there we go. So, oh no, actually, to 271,000 it's up to now. Holy crap. Okay, so this will tell you the same thing. If I go to video views, oh, so I guess that's how many people saw the actual post, but then the people who actually clicked on it to play it is much lower. And this tells you that, this one's over a period of time. It was all organic. This was not boosted at all. And it'll tell you that, on these particular days, that's when it happened. And then if I want to see average completion, this is that. And you'll see that the fall off isn't that dramatic as that other video I showed you. But at the same time, this video is only 40 seconds long, and the other one was like 3 minutes. So within the first, 20 seconds, I'm almost down to halfway. So people do have a really short attention span. So, but the thing is, post a lot of stuff and people will watch what they want, and what they like will just float to the top naturally. So, so just, post some interesting stuff. And what you can do is, if you see, I'm going to reload this so that we can see these relative. Okay. So, if you just look at this, these are all organic posts. You might want to just say, okay, this one performed better and people were really interested in this, so let me boost this one, because your money is probably going to be more well spent. This one, I guess they didn't even show it to anybody. This one, they showed it to a few people. It didn't do a whole lot. So even if I boost it, it's probably not going to do a whole lot. But if you put these up here and you boost these, people are going to come and they're going to like your page. And let me actually see post. Yeah, so it'll tell you right here, 53 people clicked on it and 5 people liked it. And it will also tell you, I think it will tell you if anybody liked my page. So this is what it looks like on someone's feed, and they can press, oh, sorry, this is like page because he's the original poster of that video. So yeah, so like if I post something offensive and somebody unlikes my page, then you'll see that here. So I guess it's not showing me how many new likes I got on my page. These likes are related to people liking the actual video. So that's those 5 people right down there. But anyway, so keep engaging people and do all that kind of stuff. Okay, so now one other thing I want to show you is okay, so let's go to my website, Dan for Texas. And when I write my, like what you really want to do is you want to write a lot of blogs, and like blog articles. I mean, you can call them articles. It's really kind of a blog. And when you go to those, you basically want a picture and 500 to 1,000 words about it. Now I've got a ton of these things that I wrote. And basically what you want to do is once you put them on your web page, what that does is that helps you get attention from Google. So Google comes around and they start saying, okay, if somebody's looking for, who's running for House of Representatives in San Antonio, hopefully my page will start showing up. Or, even if they search for Dan Berman or Daniel Berman, then, same thing, hopefully my page is going to come up. You can also direct people to the page, and then it makes you look more established because you've got a website with a lot of information about yourself on it. This is more kind of a more structured set of information about yourself compared to Facebook, but they are completely tied together. So for one thing, you'll notice at the top, and these are the websites that I build for you. So if you have a campaign and you need a website, you get a website similar to this. Up at the top, I can click email and it opens up my email program, so I can email this link and it'll send to this specific courtroom link. I can share it on, or I can go, these buttons will actually go to my Google page, my YouTube page, so it links to all these other services so that they can see, okay, he's got a bunch of other content on these other places. At the bottom, there's also a share button. So if I click share, and that's going to pop up in a different, yeah, I don't think you can see that because it's in a, because of the way I'm screen sharing. But basically, if you click share, it'll pop up a little window that says share this on Facebook. And so if I'm Joe Blow and I'm logged into my Facebook and I click share, it's going to give me an option to share this page onto Facebook. And now let me go back over to my candidate page. Now, after you post something on your blog, the first thing you want to do is you want to come to your candidate page and you want to post the link here. And you'll see that as soon as you post that in, it gives you this same some of the same content from the blog. So it starts the article off. You see the headline there, Danforth, Texas, and it links to your website. Now, the first thing you want to do is just after you paste this in here, just delete it. And the link stays there. So when you first, let me reload to show you again. Okay, so here's where I'm going to post my status. I'm just going to paste the URL. It pops up with this web page, and then I'm going to delete the URL. And if people click on this, it's still going to take them to the web page, but it just looks sloppy to have that URL up there. Now you can also say, put something here like I'm really offended by this, right? And then you post it, and hopefully, you put an interesting headline. Hopefully, I'm really offended by this is enough to pique someone's interest. And then they see cameras in the courtroom, and then anyone who's interested in that kind of stuff is going to click it and hopefully read your article. Now, the other thing is because it's on Facebook now, people can share it. So what I really recommend is put this on your website. You want to write a lot of these little posts on all over your website related to your main issues. I recommend everyone has 2 to 3 main issues, and you can write on some of the other issues, but keep most of your posts to your main issues, because that's how you're really going to connect with people, by reinforcing those things. I mean, think about Trump. All he ever talks about is walls and business. Think about Bernie Sanders. All he ever talks about is healthcare and jobs. They've got two issues, and they're basically parrots for those issues. So pick your 2 issues. Mine were legalization of marijuana and police accountability. Cameras in the courtroom is kind of related to police accountability. And I've got some other stuff on here that I wrote about, but for the most part, like, I stuck to these 2 topics. And those are the people that I was really trying to get to. And those were actually mostly Democrats, because Democrats agree with these two topics. So once you get it here, you want to share it on your Facebook. If you have a Twitter account, share it on your Twitter account also. Post pictures whenever you go to events. If I go to photos, this page, if I go to see my photos, these are some little joke things I uploaded. I went to the 420 Fest, so I uploaded it and I tagged it with the, I guess I didn't tag that one. You want to tag it with the location where you are. This is a picture that I made myself based on the DARE logo. Just upload weird stuff. This was from the convention. We were just goofing around. I uploaded a bunch of just different, pictures of me and other people and other people. I thought this one was funny because this guy in the back. just pictures that I took, just post them, because people are going to like them and they're going to share them, and that helps your page out. So just keep posting a lot of content, whatever it is. Even if look, if you're doing work around the house, if you're building a garden, for like any kind of self-sustainability, or you're setting up a little solar farm, or whatever you're doing, post about that stuff, because it interests people, and two, it shows that you're actively like leading towards an independent lifestyle where you're not depending on the government for things, whether it's welfare or electricity. Show this kind of stuff. Offer to help people. I'm always posting things on my webpage, because I see everyone complaining about the living wage and all this other stuff, and so I post things like, look, is anybody making minimum wage that wants to earn more? And when people respond, and a few people will respond, I say, look, I'm going to help you. Do you have a GED? Let me point you in the direction to get your GED, and I'll help you. I'll help walk you through that program. If you've got a minimum wage job, let me show you some places where you can find some other jobs that don't require a whole lot of experience, where you'll get some more experience that will pay you more than minimum wage. But you'll get some experience, and all that kind of stuff. Just offer to help people out in different ways in the community. And if you can, try to relate it somehow to your 2 or 3 main topics. I would say that I don't know, depending, if I know a lot of people are in the oil, the oil industry, or is kind of a big issue of theirs. There's not, you can't reach out and say, hey, I'm gonna, is anybody having a problem paying for gas? I'll put gas in your car. I know that's kind of getting ridiculous, but just reach out in whatever way that you can, and somehow try to relate it to your main platform, and just try to reach out and help people. So let's see, is there anything else that I wanted to talk about? So somebody was asking me today about fundraising, and that they were posting on their candidate page about fundraising. And somebody said some negative comments about it. They said, oh, this is BS, something like that. Okay, look, fundraising is really, really hard. I can imagine it's hard for Democrats and Republicans, and we're libertarians, so it's even harder. Here's the problem. Once you get, you've got people on Facebook. I've asked, I've gotten a lot of donations from a lot of people. I think I raised like, I don't know, $3,000 or $4,000 during my campaign. Here's the thing. Some of the people I knew very well. Some of the people I didn't know very well at all. There was one guy that I had never met before. He only met me through my Facebook page. And he said, I want to make a donation. He gave me $100 cash. That was, some guy who just found my Facebook page. There are other people, like I asked my closest friends, and they wouldn't give me money. Not because, not because they disagreed with my politics, not because they knew me, not because they didn't trust me. It's just, it's difficult to get, it's difficult to get money out of anybody, really. And unless you have people who are really, really, personally interested, or the types of people who donate, it's difficult. But do not let that discourage you. Keep asking people over and over. I had some people that I asked them a few times, and they said no, 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 and then finally I asked them again, and they said, okay, fine, I'll give you, 20 or 30 or $50. Start a GoFundMe page. Some of my fundraising, so you'll notice on my actual candidate page, I've got a donate now button right at the top. And actually, if you go to Ruben for Congress, he's actually got, this donate down here. He still has this donate up here, but he's also got this one down here. These are great, and you can direct people to your page, and you can ask them to donate. But what people really want to see is, if you go to, actually I can't pull that up from here. If you go to GoFundMe, let me just pull up their page. GoFundMe.com. And actually, let me see if I can look up, where's the search? Oh, search. I can't even spell my own name. So I'm looking for an old one, so that might be why it's not coming up. If these are by age. But anyway, so I started one of these and I showed a picture of a sign that I wanted to create. And they were like basically, you know, yard signs or the big 4x8 foot posters. And what I did was I said, okay, I'm trying to raise specifically this amount. Let me try this. Let me just see if I can find someone from someone else. Yeah, I'm not seeing a good one on here. But basically, so what I'm getting at is you want to create a need for a specific amount of money for a specific project, and that's going to actually help you raise money faster. Actually, if I go to, oops, let me just show you this one for now. So this is one, I raised $90 out of 500. Basically, I said, look, this is exactly what I'm planning on doing. This is how much money I need, and people will see that and say, okay, look, he's not just asking for money so you can go, you know, as libertarians, blow it on alcohol and drugs, right? What he's asking for is he has a specific project that he wants to do and he needs money for it. So if they like the project, they're more likely to give you that money than to just give you, you know, write you a check and say, here, go use it on your campaign. They want to know that you have an actual plan, right? So one thing I want to recommend is when you do this, set your goal a little bit higher than what you're going to need, because for a few reasons. One, GoFundMe is going to take a percentage because that's how they make money, and their percentage is a little bit higher because the credit card companies also take their percentage. So make it a little bit higher so that you can cover those expenses and you still have some money. Also, if you're asking for signs, let's say you need $500 to print, you know, 100 signs. Ask for 1,000, because if you get 500, you can still make your 1,000 signs. But if you get 1,000, then you can make even more. So, you know, ask for a little bit more. If you don't meet your goal, don't be discouraged. If people aren't donating right away, don't be discouraged. Just keep promoting it, repost it, take it. This one I went, like if you go to, on Facebook, there's the Libertarians, Libertarians in Canada. Who knows? Maybe they're interested. Here's a libertarian group that's got 10,000 members. Here's Anarchist Libertarians and Minarchists. It's got 1,500 members. Here, if I just Libertarian Party. Why? Oh, because that's the. So if you just look for some of these groups and post stuff in there, and don't feel like you're spamming too much, because at the same, you know, if you know, if you post it into, let's say you post it into 100 places and nobody likes it, all Facebook is going to do is they're going to hide it from other people from seeing it. You know, don't worry about pissing people off, because if you post it in 100 groups, maybe only 20 people are going to see it. But if those 20 people press like and they comment on it and they click the link, then more people are going to see it. But more people are going to see it because they like it, which means more people are going to like it, and more people are going to send money. So, so don't be afraid about doing that, and feel free to do that with your, with any post. So, like, let's say, let me go back here. Let's say I'm going to post Ruben's homepage into the Libertarian group. I actually want to show you one more thing right here. Oh, because I'm not in the group. I think I have to get approved before I can share. Let me see here. Yeah, okay, let me do this. Let me switch back to my other browser. Sorry, just bear with me for a second. Okay, so this one. Okay, so let me come over here and let me go to, I'm back in my main account now. Let me go to Libertarian. Let me just pick one. Punk rock libertarians. There's 120,000 people in here. Okay, so let's say I come here and I want to post Rubens. I'm not going to actually do it in this group because they're more into like the, I don't know, the crazy funny stuff. Well, no, I guess they have some pretty serious posts in there too. So what I want to do is you'll notice when you first comment, once you have a page, it gives you this little thing up here in the corner. It's telling me right now I'm posting as me. I don't want to do that because then if people like the post, they're going to come to me and they're going to try to make friends, which is great, but that's not what I want. I want them to go to my candidate page. So I'm just going to come down here and select my candidate page. And now when I make my comment, it's going to say that my candidate page posted this. And then so like down here where it says this post was made by the group itself, most of these, so I guess that's like the moderator who's posting in here, all these things. And it's possible that, you know, because he's the moderator, it's possible this isn't going to show up to everybody and he might delete it, or he might have to approve it before it's, you know, before other people can see it. So these are different things that you have to worry about in the groups. But I say go ahead and just, you know, post it to a lot of places. Some groups are more open. So I think this libertarian group, and I'm sure I'm going to piss someone off. Okay, this one's got 10,000 members. I'm sure I'm going to piss someone off because they're going to think I'm telling everyone to go spam here. You'll see here, this guy posted, right? And it says I can add friend. Here it says this guy posted something and I can add a friend. So this group is more open and it's more community driven, this person, and I can add them. So now if I post this, and then it says it's posted by me, then if I put my mouse over this, it's going to say add friend, but that's not what I want. What I want is to, oh, this one's not going to let me do it. Hold on, let me try this. This is some of the inconsistency of Facebook. So in this particular one, yep, in this particular one, it's only going to let me post it as myself. So that's kind of, that kind of sucks. But if that's the only way you can do it, go ahead and do it anyway. So just post your link in there and let it show up. And also, this is another little thing that happens sometimes. You can, depending on which picture it pulls, you can say these are all pictures that are, these are just white pictures, which is why you can't see them. But you can pick a different picture. So when people are scrolling down, they'll see this instead of something else. If you want them to see Ruben's picture, you'll see this. But the key to any post on Facebook is people read Facebook like this. Just scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. And then they'll be like, oh, what was that? I like graphs. What did that graph say? And so what is this? Google search results, I guess, interest. So so that's how people read Facebook. So pictures are the most important. I guess I'm saving the best for last here. If you're going to make a post, and so let's say I go to Dan for Texas, and if I come here and I say, hey, can you please send me money? If I post this, no one's going to see it because they're going to scroll and scroll and scroll and they're not even going to see it. But if I put a picture in here, then you know, they'll scroll down, they'll see it, and then they'll read the comment, hey, can you send me money? And, you know, if you have a picture of this, you know, whatever, you can put it doesn't always even have to be related. You can have a picture of, let's say you're trying to raise money for signs. You don't have to put a picture of a sign. You can put a picture of one of your topics. So if one of your topics is oil, you just go to Google and just go to Google and say oil prices, and then go to, where is it, images. Across the top, there are different types of searches, and put something like this, and say, I need money for flyer distribution, and then you want to say something about how that's related to the picture, but you get a really interesting picture like this. Then you go back here and you say, sorry, I can't type today for some reason. Please give me money to, and obviously I'm kind of being a little, whatever you want to call it in my wording here, but to print flyers so we can fix the economy and end dependence on foreign oil. And then what you can do here is on Google, you can click View Image, and then you can save the image, and I'll save it on my desktop. And then when I come back over to here where I wrote my please give me money, I just click this little picture down here, and I select that picture that I just saved, and then boom. And then when I post it, here, I'll just post it real quick, and then I'm going to delete it for obvious reasons. So now when people are scrolling down, they'll see that and they'll say, ooh, what's that all about, right? So let me just delete that post because I don't want people to think I'm raising money for that right now. So hopefully that'll give you some ideas on how to use your social media. If you have any questions, again, my name is Dan Berman, and let's see, a quick way to pull up my information real quick. You can call that, no, that's not even a good one. Anyway, you know where I am on Facebook, or message me through YouTube if you can. My email address is dab@dab.la. I'll type that up here if you can read it. I don't know. I don't have a still screen for this one today. I just kind of decided to start doing it. Anyway, so dab@dab.la is my email address. My phone number 310-480-3003. If you want to find out about my websites that I build, go to toplocal.marketing. That's not .com, it's just toplocal.marketing. And I mostly build websites for businesses, but I do offer extremely discounted websites for libertarian candidates. So if you need one, let me know. And if you have any questions on the social media stuff, feel free to reach out. I'm always helping. Maybe you'll give me an idea to make another video. And I was hoping this was only going to be 15 minutes, but it turned into like a big long production again. So sorry about that. But I hope you learned something, and I hope it helps out your campaign, and I wish you the best of luck. So I'll see you when you win office.